Okay, wait. Guys, it's a really bad story. A lot of people are gonna get mad at me. But okay, so basically, so I got to Boston on Monday, and then, wait, Monday? No, Sunday night. And then Monday I skating Cup of Boston. That's where I was skating. And then we go to get my credentials on Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. No. No. Actually, we went to go get my credentials on Monday. And then, so when we're there, you need to give your passport for your credential, but I forgot about that. I forgot at every ISU skating event you need to give them your passport. So I left my passport at home, and I was in Boston. And, normally for internationals, I bring my passport because I need it for the airport. But Worlds was in America, so I was like, oh, my driver's license will do. Like, I don't need my passport. Guys, I needed my passport. So, as I tell them, so I don't have my passport, but I have a photo of my passport. They were like, that won't do. That won't do? What? And so they were like, it has to be your actual passport. It can't be any copy or digital version. So, I was like, oh, so do I compete? And they were like, no, you don't have your passport. You can't get your credentials. And without your credentials, you can't compete, blah, blah, blah. And so I was kind of dumbfounded because we went all the way there. I trained all this time. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And honestly, it was kind of funny. I didn't care. I was like, oh, no, Worlds, but it's off season. Technically, my off season starts now. So I was kind of in the moment. But Philip and Massimo, I had them stressed. I have a photo of us where I'm like smiling really big because of this silly little mistake I made. And I was like, oh my God, so I don't have to compete. Oh my gosh. But then, Philip's husband, his name is also Philip, but he was coming to watch Worlds, and he was gonna arrive Tuesday night, which is the day before the competition starts. And I was like, we were asking the people who check you in, we were like, is it okay if we get my credentials the night before the short program? And they were like, yeah, as long as it's your actual passport. So I FaceTimed my dad. I got him, I helped him find my passport in my room, and then he drove all the way to Philip's house, dropped it off, and then the next day he flew to Boston and dropped it off, and then I checked in and I got my credentials, and then I competed. But yeah, for a bit, I had no idea if I was going to compete or not. Also because the flights could have been delayed, like I might not have gotten the passport. But I did, guys, yay! Yeah, okay, so that's it. That's the story time. But, yay, I did compete. Oh, wait, I have one more story. Since it's the end of the season already, I might as well tell y'all all the behind the scenes, all the behind the scenes. So, what competition was this? This was Zagreb, that spin, or Golden Spin, that competition. We had a layover in Germany, and then we went to Zagreb, right? But, so the first flight, I bring my skates on the plane, and then I put it in, like, the overhead cabin. So me and Philip, we get off the plane, go through customs, whatever. Then we get to the airport lounge. We have, like, an hour before our next flight to Zagreb. And Philip's like, I'm, like, about to, I have a bowl of food, like, in my hand. And he asked me, he's like, where are your skates? I was like, oh, where are my skates? I left them on the plane. And then, so he grabbed the bowl out of my hand, set it down, grabbed my hand, and we ran out the lounge, and we went to the gate of our next flight, and we were like, hey, so we might have to reschedule this flight or something because she left her skates on that last plane, and we don't know where that plane is, mind you. And so we're in Germany, and I'm kind of laughing because I find it really funny. And also, I didn't care if I competed or not, it doesn't affect my skating or my training. So, I was just worried that my skates were lost forever. And guys, it's so hard getting a new pair of skates and getting them right, it's really hard to break them in and for them to be perfectly mounted, stuff like that. So, we we're being told to do a bunch of things. We file a report, a claim, and then we're just running around the airport. We're calling a ton of, I don't know, services, and he has to use my phone because we're in Germany and his phone doesn't work for some reason. So he has my phone, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, wait, I have to go to the bathroom. So I go, and then I come back and he's gone, and I'm like, oh, well, he has my phone. So what do I do? And then, so I look everywhere because we're at baggage claim at this point, but we're not. So baggage claim is inside the airport. And area, like, they could only reach that part of the airport. They couldn't reach the inside. So he wasn't hearing any of this. So then I just sit down, maybe an hour and a half, and then he exits with my skates. So I don't know how he got my skates back, but he did. And then we booked another flight to Zagreb. Okay, anyway, so I almost didn't compete at 2 of the competitions I had this year. Y'all, my world ranking would have been so low if I didn't compete at those 2 competitions. Okay, anyways, yeah, those are the stories. Okay, bye guys. Bye bye.